Welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey here with some Day 2 grades for all the picks Minnesota made, and we'll also mention some more on Lewis Cine, that first-round pick. Break down all the moves the wheeling and dealing Minnesota Vikings have made so far. A very active team with the trades. Welcome to the new GM, adofo-mensah's mindset, I suppose. 4 picks so far made by this new regime. Lewis Cine, of course, in the first round. Andrew Booth and the second round, which we will spend a lot of time on because, spoiler alert, I friggin' love that pick, man. Ed Ingram in the second and Brian Asamoah in the third round. That is all the Vikings have done, 42, 59, 66. Starting to get some insight into this organization. I think 2 day 1 starters in Andrew Booth and Lewis Cine. I think Asamoah ends up becoming a rotation special team guy in year 1. Eventually, I think takes over as a starting linebacker weak side, and you hope Ed Ingram ends up doing the exact same thing at guard. They've thrown a lot of resources at guard this offseason, which I find quite interesting. Overall, I think Minnesota's done a pretty good job. But first, I want to hear from you guys. Grade the wheeling and dealing Minnesota Vikings draft so far. A, B, C, D, or F. How are you feeling about what the Vikings have done so far? In a moment, I am going to head down and give my own grade, and we'll break down each of the picks as well. But first and foremost, we're a show for the people, so I want to hear what you guys have to say. Grade the Vikings draft A, B, C, D, or F. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Sanding if I might point, whatever. I can point as long as I want. It's a good draft so far by the Minnesota Vikings. A B+. Moving down in round 1 was curious as far as they did. They also moved down again with the Packers. They've made 2 NFC North trades. It's insane from that standpoint, but I like a lot of what they've done. So we will start with the most recent draft pick, Brian Asamoah. Producer Sam said if it's not an A grade, he's quitting mid-show, which means the entire rest of it would either be filmed by someone else or just going to be Asamoah up on screen for me rambling. And then it'll leave. It's a good pick. I like this one a lot. 72 overall. I did have Channing Tindall barely ahead of him and Leo Chenal ahead of him, but if you want a weak side linebacker who can cover, which I think is very important to this new regime, Asamoah fits that mold. Athletic and rangy. He is willing to play above his size. 6 foot and a quarter, 226. By the way, Ohio State fan originally, never got the offer. I think Buckeyes missed on that one pretty big time there. Family was originally from Ghana. Quan Alexander, athletic comp. Like that one, Sam? Yeah, I thought you might like that one there. You run the risk of a Duke Riley if he doesn't develop. Maybe he's Kaiser White, though, too. Lot of regular impact on special teams early on is a big deal there. Very good tackler. Small with decent arm length there. A good athlete at his size. The pass production, dipped of interceptions, pass breakups. I don't like him taking on blockers, but as a weak side run and chase linebacker, I think he'll be a good one for Minnesota. Now, we will have more Vikings draft videos for you guys on day 3. We'll also have some UDFA coverage for you on Sunday. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. YouTube.com/Vikings today. We will take care of you from that perspective with all of the information that you guys need on the Minnesota Vikings draft class this year. So if you haven't already, head down there. Hit that big red button and subscribe. All right. Back end of the second round, a guard off the board here. Ed Ingram, who I had a tough time figuring out the eval here. There's a lot to discuss in terms of the negatives. Start with the positives here. Good size. I thought he was better in pass protection. Again, I like that right here. Above average testing. He's just not that big. He's 6'3", 307. I think he's more of a move blocker. Can play left guard and right guard. Started both. 23 at left guard, 12 at right guard. Valuable position there. The big red flag here, beyond like he's got hands issues, I want to bulk him up, he was super inconsistent this year, is that he was accused back in 2015, when he was 16, they were 14, by 2 sisters of sexual assault and rape. Those charges were later dropped. Clearly, the Vikings are comfortable with where they took him. So I will give Minnesota and Ingram, of course, the benefit of the doubt since those charges were dropped, but you might see more of those news stories if you live in Minnesota as those local journalists dig into it. Third round grade, assuming he is just fine off the field there, hoping for an eventual starter. Maybe not year one, but maybe he replaces Jesse Davis, who I think will start at guard. This does, by the way, watch out for a Wyatt Davis trade. I think his time is going to be short-lived in Minnesota with this regime and scheme change with Kevin O'Connell in there at head coach. We will keep breaking down all the Vikings picks live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We're going to go in bright and early, day 3 of the NFL draft here, youtube.com/chatsportstv. That link will be in the comments section and in the description. Go subscribe. I'll be anchoring the coverage there once again. It's day 3. The people get slap happy. Everyone's so tired. I'm just like I'm on cloud 9 still talking about the draft. So go subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, the best pick by the Minnesota Vikings, Andrew Booth. They traded out again at the top of the second round and still got their guy. Now, I have tried to figure out why Booth slid. I thought I was going to be low on Andrew Booth relative to others at 28 overall. He ends up going a little bit later than what you thought at 42. You trade down, then back up to get him. Cool, I'm all for it. My concerns with Booth were that he's a bad tackler. He missed 11, I think, this year. He had 37 total. You can do the math. That sucks. But he is athletic, despite some buzz that teams thought he might be slow. I didn't see it on film there. Not a ton of man coverage reps, but profiles well for that. I think will fit what the Vikings want to do. Can play some cover 3, some cover 4 for you as well. A double hernia surgery and a grade 2 quad strain in April kind of hurt his pre-draft process. So I think medical is why he slid a little bit. Maybe he's not ready to go quite week 1. We'll see. CJ Henderson is my player comp here. Somebody who is a good prospect, a lot of upside, is inconsistent. He's not there yet. I know people around the league who had Andrew Booth as the number 1 corner in this year's class. I was certainly not one of them, but there is upside. He just might need some time to grow and develop. Good athlete. Has the ball skills, 3 interceptions, 5 pass breakups this year, 2 and 4 back in 2020. He's a damn good football player when he's on his game. I love this pick by Minnesota. Their number 1 need, you wanted Derek Stingley, I know, didn't happen, it hurt, but you'll be able to get Andrew Booth on that field sooner than later. So rate the Vikings day 2 draft picks. We'll come back to round 1 here in just a minute, but rate them for me. Just the second round picks, the third round picks. I should say. Scale it 1 to 100. Low on the 1 on the low end, 100 on the high end. Lewis Cine will go a little bit on this one in case you guys didn't catch our video yesterday. I have no issues with the pick here. Cine was my 34th overall player. Take him at 32. You're right on the nose with the value, so good value there as far as I'm concerned. Free safety mostly I think fits really well with Harrison Smith. They'll do some split coverage stuff with this new defense, I believe. He can definitely play that. Throws his body around. He will hit. Makes pretty good tackles. He's a bit reckless at times. I think you guys are going to like Lewis Cine a lot. This defense was overhauled early on. Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth, those are their 2 new studs on that side of the ball. A lot of pass breakups. He's got great instincts. I thought his range was boosted by that. I don't think he's quite the 4.37 guy he was on film, or at the 40, but on film a little bit slower. But still, 4.37, like, bump him up full 10. 4.47, yeah, you can play free safety for me. So I like a lot of what Minnesota has done so far with their particular moves here to go out and acquire Lewis Cine, Andrew Booth, Ed Ingram. If I had to rank these picks, by the way, I would probably give Booth as my first one, Ingram, or excuse me, not Booth, as my first one, Cine as my second, Asamoah as my third, and then Ingram as my fourth. Are you okay, Sam, if I put Asamoah down there as the further one down in terms of the fourth of the picks on that one? So Cine is the round one. You can just keep that L3 up, Sam. You're good. We'll just leave it up there for the entire time. It's all good, my brother. The final picks here. Booth, Ingram, Asamoah on day 3, Cine in the first round as well here. Overall, I'm quite pleased with what the Vikings have done so far in the first round and the second round and the third round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Here's what's coming up for Minnesota. a 4th at 122, a 5th at 156, 36, 184, 185, 191 as well, and then a 7th way down there at pick number 250. So a lot going on that front. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/Vikings today.